We're getting ready to play some cornhole. There's a not a free cornhole thing here. They leave you this little bean bags, and John's gonna see if he can up. That wasn't too bad. Try it again. Ah! Not quite. No. You stink.
Jill's asked for a timeout. She has caterpillars on her. Ooh.
Okay, go ahead. John said that one had a caterpillar on it. Since we've been inundated with caterpillars here. They're on everything. Ooh, that was close. Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm John.
And we're the geezers on the go.
Go, go, go.
In this episode, we're at tiny Colleton State Park in Walterboro, South Carolina. With 25 sites on 35 acres, it's the smallest state park in South Carolina. Still, it offers big fun. Located on the Edisto River near the central South Carolina coastline, Colleton is the mecca for canoers and kayakers, as well as a fishing hotspot. All 25 sites here have full hookups. And there's also a primitive camping area for tents, and one cabin. We'll also show you a little bit around the area, and we'll play a little golf, and drink a little wine. You'll also get to see an historic old air base we stumbled upon, where the Tuskegee Airmen once trained. And we'll also give you a quick tour of a nearby campground that's undergone a major facelift. But for now, let's get back to our tour of Colleton State Park on the beautiful Edisto River, one of the longest free-flowing blackwater rivers in the country. We're here at Colleton State Park near Walterboro, South Carolina. It's not that far off I-95, and it's right along the Edisto River. We're here at Site 13. The place has full hookups. I would call this sort of an intimate little park. There's only 25 sites, and all of them have full hookups. We have one of the few pull-throughs. It's a little bit downhill, and we had a little trouble. Oh, not trouble, but it took a little while to level us out. But behind us, we have this nice big area with nobody behind us. And here we are here, and you can see we had a little bit of leveling right there, but as you scan around here, we have this big space here, and beyond the fence this way is the Edisto River, and it's very popular with canoeists and kayakers, and I guess fishermen too, because it connects with a lot of different areas along the river. And just south of here, you hook up with Givens Ferry State Park, which we've stayed a couple of years ago. This gives you a little more perspective how much space we have. I'm standing by the fence by the river, so we got all this good area with nobody behind us. Yeah, it's a pretty little park, lots of trees. The only maybe downfall some people might not like, we're close to a highway, I think it's 15, and it gets a little noisy, but not too bad. Again, there's us, and there are some sites on both sides of the loop. Like I said, sort of an intimate little campground with just 25 sites, lots of trees, and there's some pull-throughs, some back ends. This is a nice big pull-through Only downfall maybe that you're right by that cabin, so you have to be looking into their business. But most of the sites look pretty good size. Some I said are more level than others, but we're right smack in the middle. We're 13 out of 25 sites, so we're right in the middle. And as you come into the park, this is site number 1, which is a real big site. It says it's a handicap spot, but a lot of times if it's the only one left, they'll let you take it, because that happened to us one time while we were in Florida. So that's right at the beginning of the park. And then there's a couple here, again in the middle. 2 looks a little downhill. I'm not sure I'd want to be in number 2. And 3, 4, I guess it's 3, 5, and these numbers are crazy here. Back up to the trees in the road, so these sites on this side could be a little noisy. 7 might be a little tough to get into. You might have to attack it from the other side, because it goes around here, so I don't know how you would kind of turn into your site. It wouldn't be bad if number 8 wasn't here, which isn't a bad site, but it's kind of noisy. And then you come back around here, and I'd say 9 wouldn't be a bad site, because it's fairly level, and you look right out there to the river. And then, although you don't look like you have a lot of space in the front, there is space right here that you could park. And then you come back around. I said 10's over here, and not a lot of space. Backs up into the loop. 11's not bad. And then here's us again. And John is closing opening our tanks. What you doing, opening the tanks?
What?
Opening the tanks?
That's what I'm doing.
Look, we got full hookups here, so you can dump anytime you feel like it.
Yeah, I can't get the bridge under there though, because I don't want to crawl around on the gravel under the slide. So.
Right. Good enough.
It'll work.
This is site 18, and the one behind it is number 22, which they aren't as much space as some other ones, but if you came together, there would probably be 2 spots. This would be nice buddy spots, so you'd be looking at each other from the 2 spaces. 16 also wouldn't be too bad. It looks short, but once you pulled in, and it's pretty level, there's a big parking area right next to it. You can park there, or I guess that's what these little spaces are here. I'm not sure why these rocks are here, but I guess it's supposed to be like a designated parking spot. There's one here and one here, and then they got a lot of rocks behind it to the next campsite. I guess they have some erosion there. And as you come around to 20 and 21, they're not too bad. 21's a little short, as is 23, but they back up to the trees instead of the river, and you'd have enough to park next to it. And 25 is a pull-through. So that's the last site here. Although 25 comes before 24, but that's another pretty big site, but you don't have as much space behind you as some of the other sites. The bathroom is located right sort of smack in the middle of this loop, although right now it says it's closed for renovations, and the other bathroom is a little farther up there. Not too far, but all the sites have full hookups, so you might not need the bathroom too much. And like I said, but it's right there for whenever. Oh, up and it also looks like a cornhole thing. I guess you go up to the office, they'll give you some bean bags to throw in there. Right at the entrance of the park, there is a little primitive camping area. It looks basically not a lot of space. I mean, there's no what I would call designated tent sites, just a bunch of picnic tables and space where you could put some tents, but nothing that's super designated as such.
You can see we got 3 tents back here in the primitive area, all lined up there, and the area goes all the way around here, so there's room for plenty more.
There is one cabin here that sits right along the river, and it's pretty good size. I looked in the windows, and it has 2 sets of bunk beds, has a kitchen area, a fireplace. There's no stove. Looked like it was a microwave. I guess there's some water out here, and it was a pretty good size. There's the fireplace. But what's cool about this place, if you walk around the back, behind this wooden fence, so you can get a little bit of a secluded feeling by yourself, there's this really nice outdoor space.
One thing we noticed soon after arriving here, it was late March, and that's caterpillar season. We didn't let it spoil our trip, but you might want to call ahead to avoid these squirmy little pests.
Yeah, we didn't put up our screen tent, and maybe we should go sit outside, because there's caterpillars are landing everywhere. But there's one, he's doing a dance there. I don't know what he's doing, but they're all over the place. There's some there and there, so we're gonna have to watch when we leave to make sure we get rid of them all, that they're not inside. State Park Ranger Larry Bonds found a way to have a little bit of fun with the caterpillars with a rock salt gun. Shoot him! Get him! Get him! Oh, did we get any?
He didn't move. Look, killed him.
Oh!
Killed 2 at the same time.
Just across the bridge from the campground, just go across this bridge, which crosses the Edisto River, and there is a boat launch right there. It's a public boat launch, and I guess you get maybe a little bigger boat because it is concrete, and they have a dock so you could tie up, but it's also a place I guess you could put in your kayaks or canoes, so very convenient. Right before you go down to the river, there is this map here that shows you all the different stopping points, and we're here. There we are, we're there, and it's called Park to Park Paddle, so you can stop all at these different places along the way, canoe, kayak, fish, until you get all the way down to the end down here, which is Givens Ferry State Park. And I'm not quite sure how far it is, but it wouldn't probably take you too long going down the river. And this little walkway goes right down to the river. There's steps. You could either go down the steps or walk down the path right there. But pretty view. Saw some people fishing yesterday. Once you get down here, you can come and sit in these benches and look down, do a little pan here, and there's the river. Pretty quiet this morning. A little chilly this morning, but for this time of year, but pretty day. We're talking before about the how this connects with a lot of other different places, and this park actually is one of the newer parks. It didn't open until 1970, and this part of the park is actually part of a 56-mile long, like the river and canoe trail, and I did find out it's 21 miles down to, I think it's pronounced like Givens Ferry State Park. I always thought it was Givens, but I think it's Givens. But so you could go for a pretty nice ride in your boat or canoe. The reason we're sitting in our little screen house today, we usually sit outside to do these things, we're being rained on by caterpillars.
Yes, they're bombing us from the trees above. It's caterpillar season.
Oh, and they're everywhere, so you have to watch out where you're going. But
you might want to. One woman even called the park ranger first to find out if there were caterpillar season.
Yeah, she said if there were, she wasn't coming. But you just have to be careful where you put your hands. But Other than that, the park is a really nice little park.
It's small.
It's small. I would call it almost intimate because there's only about 25 sites. But this area is nice. It's right along the Edisto River, and a lot of people like to go canoeing and kayaking. And this area is also called the front porch to the low country.
Right.
And there's a few things to do. It's not really a touristy area, but this park though does offer winter specials, so you can stay here for a month at half price, and it's got full hookups.
So yeah, they're all full hookups. And there are some things to do. We got to go into Walterboro and St. George, the two nearest towns. We went to a winery owned by a really affable fellow named
Matthew Bowman, and
Matthew
it was called the Bowman's Vineyards, and he makes lots like fruit wines and peach and watermelon.
We saw Bee City. We didn't go to the zoo there, but there were a lot of people going there.
Right, they make their own honey. I bought a few things of honey.
We played golf,
and a really nice little municipal course. It was only 9 holes, but in great shape, and we played, the two of us, for less than $30 with a cart, which is wow.
Yeah, unheard of.
We also went to a place that we hadn't been in 4 years. It's another state park called, I'm pretty sure it's called Gavans, and it's about 15 miles south of here. And we stayed there, I said, 4 years ago, and
Boy, has it changed.
It sure has. That when we went last time, there was only a couple of full hookups. It's small like this park, only about, I think, 25 sites, but now they have all full hookups.
And the visitor center. Well, tell them about the visitor center, Joe.
The little office where you check in. Last time we went, there was the little park ranger was sitting in the corner in a.
Well, the park ranger wasn't little necessarily.
No, but her little. She was sitting in the corner. It was like a dusty little corner where you check in.
Tiny little spot
little
to
desk.
check in.
Now it's a gigantic house that has all paneling, and there's all kinds of gifts, and a big terrace that one park ranger said now if it's bad weather, people like to come and sit there. And
yeah, and they have a fireplace in there with a couch in front of the fireplace.
And I think they have a lot better cell service than they once had, because when we were there it was like almost nothing. So you can go to, like, that's part of their sister park, and you can canoe from here down to there and back again if you wanted to.
Well, I don't think you canoe back because the river runs pretty swift, but a lot of people have somebody meet them down at the other park and kayak, but what is that about? That's about 20 miles by river.
Something like that.
It's a pretty good trip.
We didn't make the kayak trip, but instead we drove 5 miles down the road to Bowman's Vineyard, a small but very friendly place. The Bowman family has owned this land since the late 1800s. We met Matthew at the vineyard. He gave us a taste of his wine, mostly muscadine and fruit wines, and he showed us around his house, where he has a treasure trove of his family's past military history.
Okay, so Matthew, tell us a little bit about your winery.
Well, I started this winery about 15 years ago. We produce mainly muscadine wines, red, white. We also produce watermelon wine, pear wine, peach wine, plum wine, all sorts. Matter of fact, 8 separate types of wines.
Wow.
We're located off of Interstate 95, exit 68, and come join us and taste some of our wines.
Between the river and the wine, we managed to work in a round of golf.
Yeah, we're at Dogwood Hills public golf course in Walterboro, South Carolina. It's a municipal course.
They don't have caddies here, they have Sherpa guides.
It's only a 9-hole course, but we're only playing 9, so we're good. But cheap. Costs us one. Costs us less than $30 for the two of us with a cart. Hit the guy cutting the grass. Oh, okay.
I'm not going to make it up there, but I'm on grass.
Then we saw a sign for Walterboro Airfield. We just sort of stumbled across it, and it turned out to be the training site of the Tuskegee Airmen.
All right, in April of 1944, Walterboro Army Airfield stopped training pilots here, and they started training the Tuskegee Airmen. It says here that over 500 black airmen from the training program at Tuskegee trained on this field in the next 2 years. And what basically they were doing was they were training airmen to replace as replacement pilots for the all-black 332nd Fighter Group that had deployed to Europe.
This is a light beacon that was saved from the airstrip from the World War II, and it lighted the airstrip way back when, and they said if they found it in the 1990s and somebody built a little thing here so they could display it.
We're driving into Colleton Ferry State Park right now. It's about 15 miles from Colleton. We were here, 4 years ago, I think, and since then it's undergone a few changes. I understand that they made it all full hookups, all the sites. Well, we're in the campground itself now. As you can see, maybe you can pick this up on the video, but these are all full hookups now. And quite a few people in the park.
But it is, I think, the end of spring break, so...
I think this is the campsite we stayed at last time we were here.
And what do you remember most about that campsite, John?
There was a great big red ant hill right in the middle of it. They had to come and put down some powder to get rid of the ants. And right next to us where this trailer is was a lady staying. I think she was all by herself.
Yeah. Would you like to take a couple days and go be by yourself?
I don't blame her.
This is something. Last time we were here 4 years ago, all there was a little desk in the corner where you checked in and got your little sticker or book. And now it's a gigantic room with all kinds of stuff, and you could have lunch upstairs. And
you can get a switchblade spork.
And the ranger outside said when it's rainy, people love to come up here and sit and play games, and because there is Wi-Fi in here, so you could maybe even watch a movie. It's just one heck of a place.
Whether you choose Colleton Ferry or Colleton, like we did, I'm sure you'll enjoy your time on the Edisto River. We're glad you could join us, and, as always, we'll see you down the road.